Hi, Miss Sen. My name is Virginia Ira Malobago Abihuro, the first reporter in Group 4. Today's topic is geologic process, geologic hazard, earthquake, and earthquake hazard. Today, what is geological process? Are naturally occurring events that directly or indirect impact the geology of the Earth. Plate tectonics, weathering, earthquakes, volcanic eruption, mountain formation, deposition, erosion, flooding, and landslides. The geological hazards are extreme natural events in the crust of the extreme deposits threat to life and poverty. Earthquake, volcanic, tsunami, and landslides. Earthquake, ang earthquake naman po in the minimal to rapid shaking of the ground to the movement of rocks along both on earth and crust. Ang epekto po nito is plate moves, rock break, energy release on earthquake. This is effect on earthquake hazard. A. Ground shaking, most obvious hazard, earthquake cause. If, di ba po kapag nalindol is talagang, ang most na alam natin kapag nalindol is talagang nag-shake ang ground natin. So, B. Surface faulting, breaking of the ground. C. Landslide, toward movement. Kapag mayroon pong lindol is obvious naman po talaga na ang lupa ay talaga siyang gumuguho talaga gawa po ng lindol. And D is liquefaction, saturation of soil with water, and last is tsunamis, when shaking happens on the seafloor. If pag nagkakaroon po tayo ng earthquake, ay syempre po naapektuhan din po yung seafloor natin, kaya po nagkakaroon po ng tsunamis. This is a volcanic eruption. Occurs when magma is released from a volcano. Volcanic hazard. A. Tempera. Consists of piezoelastic fragments. Second is pyrrollastic flow. This fast-moving flow of solid 5 lava pieces, volcanic ash, and hot gases. Third is lahar. Mixture of rock and water that flows down the slope of volcano. This is my part, and thank you for listening.
D. Lava flows and lava domes. It composed of viscous magma or lava that being erupted onto the surface. It is the flowing of molten rocks and that have been ejected from the volcano. These lava are viscous, so it means malalapot na materials and sometimes pwedeng mag-compose or create ng lava domes. So dahil sa sobrang viscous ng lava or magma, hindi na ito nakaka-flow ng downslope. Nagre-retain na siya sa bunganga ng bulkan, and it can affect the explosiveness of the volcano. Kasi pag nagkakaroon ng lava domes sa bunganga ng bulkan, hindi na makakalabas yung init at pressure sa ilalim, kumbaga naiipon yung init at pressure sa loob ng bulkan. At once na naipon yun, hindi nakakayanin yung pressure at malakas na eruption or explosion yung mangyayari to that volcano. F. Poisonous gases. Are gases releases during volcanic eruption. Dahil sa pag-release ng poisonous gases, although most of the gases releases on volcano are steam, there are other gases like sulfur dioxide that is hazardous and poisonous on humans and animals. So, we talk about hazards. Hazards are phenomena, either natural or sometimes man-made. Ito yung panganib o banta na maaaring medulot ng pinsala sa humans, animals, properties, environment, and also sa our community. Classification of hazards. A. Natural. Ito yung mga earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslide, tsunamis, and climate or weather hazards. B. Anthropogenic. Ito yung dahil sa deforestation, mining, climate change, and also we're gonna add landslides. Ano nga ba ang landslides? Landslide is the movement of rock down a slope, and landslide is a natural but human activities may speed up or trigger its occurrences. And landslide o pagguho ng lupa ay nangyayari kapag ang lupa, bato o isa pa pang mga materyales ay bumabagsak o gumagalaw pababa ng isang slope or hillside. Nangyayari ang landslide kapag malakas ang ulan, lindol o pagputol ng mga puno na nagiging sanhi ng pagkawala ng suporta ng lupa. Nasabi nga natin na dahil sa mga human activities, nakaka-trigger ito para magkaroon ng landslides. So, this is the human activities that speed up or trigger landslides. A. Overloading slopes. Overloading slope or ang paglalagay ng sobrang bigat sa mga slopes tulad ng gusali, kalsada o mga tambak na lupa. Ito yung nagpapataas ng panganib ng pagguho. B. Mining or using explosives underground. Mining or ang pagmimina. Ang paggamit ng mga paputok sa pagmimina ay nagpapahina sa lupa at nagiging sanhi ito ng pagguho. C. Land use on construction o paggamit ng lupa para sa construction. Ang pagtatayo ng mga gusali, kalsada at iba pang infrastruktura ay natutulot sa pagbabago ng dalisdis o slope na maaaring magresulta ng pagguho or landslides. D. Excavation or displacement of rocks. Ito yung pagkuha o paglipat ng mga bato. Ang pagkukuha ng bato para sa construction ay iba pang layunin ay maaring magpahina sa slope at magdudulot ito ng landslides. E. Quarrying or pagmimina ng mga bato. Nagdudulot ito ng pagbabago sa slope na maaaring magresulta ng landslides. E. Quarrying o pagmimina ng mga bato. Nagdudulot ito ng pagbabago sa dalisdis or slope ng maaaring magresulta ng landslides. F. Land pollution and land degradation. Ang polusyon mula sa mga kemikal at iba pang mga sangkap ay maaaring magpahina sa lupa at magdudulot ito ng pagguho. G. Excavation of archaeological remains. Ang pagkuha ng mga archaeological na labi ay maaaring magdulot ng pagguho lalo na kung hindi maingat ang pagsasagawa nito. H. Cutting of trees. Ang mga puno ay nagsisilbing natural na suporta sa mga dalisdis or sa slope. Kaya ang pagputol ng puno ay papahina sa lupa at nagiging sanhi ito ng landslides.
So let us now move on to effects of landslides. Effects of landslides contains property damage, injury, and death. Landslides can cause serious damage to both property and people. Ang mga bahay, buildings, at kalsada ay pwedeng masira. So, tao rin yung pwedeng masugatan or even mawalan ng buhay dahil sa pagguho ng lupa. Water supplies like rivers or water resources can get contaminated or blocked. Kaya mahirap maghanap ng malinis na tubig kapag may mga ganitong kalamidad na nangyayari. Kaya mahirap. So, fisheries are also affected kasi the sediment reduces fish stocks, making it harder for fishermen to catch fishes. But the sewage and disposal systems pwedeng masira that leads to health risk, negative economic effects, or cost to repair structures. Cost for repairs to buildings and infrastructures. Property values drop kasi mga nasirang areas become less desirable. Roads and transportation routes are disrupted, affecting trade and daily life. Medical costs also increase dahil sa mga injured people, while the loss of fish stocks hurts local fisheries, damaging the economic further. Next one is the hazard maps. Hazard maps illustrate areas that are exposed to prone to a particular hazard. Maps are tools that show areas from risk from natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, or landslides. For example, sa flood hazard map may isang lugar na kulay pula na high risk or mas mataas yung chance na mas maapektuhan yung lugar. Then sa mga low risk areas naman ay kulay green, which is yung mas mga safe na lugar. Ang mga maps na ito ay tumutulong sa mga tao para malaman kung saan ang mga delikadong lugar at mas makapaganda. Ginagamit ito ng government or ng isang community para sa mga disaster planning upang ang lahat ay maging handa at ligtas. Well, now to summarize the report, geologic processes and hazards. Natural processes shaping the earth can result in hazards like earthquakes, volcanic eruption, and landslide. Natural processes like earthquakes, volcanic eruption, and landslides shape shape the earth, pero these can also lead to serious hazard earthquakes caused by movements in Earth's crust, result in ground shaking, tsunamis, and major damage to infrastructure. So it's really important to have resilient structures and be prepared. For volcanic eruptions, it releases lava, ash, and harmful gases, which pose risk to health, the environment, and properties, kaya kailangan ng constant monitoring and clear evacuation plans. So, for landslide triggered by heavy rain, earthquakes, or deforestation, can destroy lives and property, and prevention involves proper land use and maintaining vegetation, where the hazard maps is the visual tools to identify risk-prone areas, like those showing earthquake, fault lines, and volcanic risk areas. It help identify the high risk zones and aid in disaster planning and safety measures. In dealing with this, geologic hazard awareness and proactive steps are key para ma-minimize ang risk at mapalakas ang resilience ng communities. So that will be all for the Group 4's report. Thank you so much.